Nationality.
Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Hello, dear brothers. I have a surprise for you. I want to welcome you to my very first episode of the Untamed Hour by your host, Solid Gold. I know this has been long awaiting, don't even start. But if you've been following me for years, welcome back. And if this is the first time seeing me on your screen, where have you been? Before throwing all the juices at you guys, I realized my content has been appearing in places I never thought it would. I've been getting DMs from a lot of people from different countries, and I never thought my content would reach, but I'm grateful anyway, so let's dig in. So before you jump into all the relationship, the money talk, advice, the spicy things, I wanted to take this opportunity for you to get to know your host. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me all types of questions that you guys wanted me to answer on this episode, and you guys did not disappoint. But I tell you, it's such a mixture of nosy, spicy, a little bit, career, money. It's so many questions under the sun. I did make sure to filter out the questions as to where you get to know me instead of asking about things that are outside the scope. Okay? We'll get a little bit into that. I don't drink anymore. It's a long story, but what I want you to do, grab a snack, grab a drink, and make yourself comfortable. So to start off with my name, I have made this clear time and time again. I prefer my people calling me Solid. And when I mean my people, I'm talking about the internet. Everyone calls me Solid so much that in my mind, I already believe my name is Solid Gold. Like if you call me Solid, it's not it's kind of like that's my name because I've been called this name ever since 2017. I've kept it that way, and now I'm seeing how it pays off for me right now. I hate having to introduce people to one thing and then drag it away from them later. I've always been known as Solid Gold. A lot of people just call me SG or Solid. That's how I want to be addressed. That is under no discussion. If you tell me your name is Miss Love, I will address you as Miss Love, regardless of me knowing your real name. And the only reason, not just the only reason, but the most important reason as to why I gatekeep my real name as to my name and my last name is because of my professional career. I do not want my professional career and this to mix at all. As much as I've grown over the years, my content has reached so many people, even my jobs, I still would have liked it not to go that way. And I don't want to say I have split personalities. I just don't like my professional getting involved in other sectors of my life. It's just not what I want. Living in America has really taught me if people know your name, it's like knowing your social security. They can do so much with it. I do it because of my professional career. That's why you never see me posting nursing stuff or any of that. I keep it aside. I'm not gatekeeping what I do for a living. I just do not want it to mix. And that's why I prefer my name being Solid Gold. You can call me Solid. My age, I have told you guys so many different things over the years, simply because in a perfect world, regardless of your age, people would listen to you. In the world we live in, if you're younger, they just feel like you have no such experience. There's no way I can take advice from you. But I actually say things that you should listen to, and it has helped. And based on my analytics, okay, this is not based on what I feel or what I want or whatsoever. It's based on numbers. I do see 60 plus in my analytics. That means they're older people watching my stuff. It means I'm saying something. And I know I'm saying something. You get, because I've always let you guys know that I am not a girl's girl or a guy. I am a right or wrong. You're either doing it right or you're doing it wrong. There's no in-betweens of these things. I'm so sorry, my pillows are everywhere. So funny how I just went from talking about my age to talking about all of these things, but it actually goes deeper. You get, but I don't want to go that deep. This is just fire questions. I am 27 years of age. Okay, let's keep it at that. I don't want to go deeper into things. You guys know I yap for a living. I made money out of talking. You guys don't understand. Talk. Where am I from? That is the most mixed up thing. My nationality, where I'm from, it's been a topic on my socials for months, on all my social media platforms, and I've seen it. I just felt like I've given the answer and people just continue to ask and ask and ask. It's not that I'm getting tired of telling you guys. People literally want me to belong somewhere. You get what I'm saying? But I am born and raised in Namibia. That's where I am from. I am Namibian. So for my nationality, I am Namibian, but I do have heritage in Kenya and Angola. My dad is Angola born and raised. He's Angolan, sorry, not Angola. He's Angolan born and raised. My mom was born in Kenya, and then roundabout before she had to go to high school, that's when they moved to Namibia because her dad is Namibian. He actually made them over there in Kenya, okay, with a Kenyan woman called Grace, my grandma. Then they moved to Namibia. That's how I was born in Namibia. So I hope I cleared that up. I know the whole discussion is me having an accent and all of that. Namibians do speak like this. We do speak ons praat Afrikaans, so eventually I'm gonna sound like a colored, I guess. My thing is, Namibia is it's almost like a traditional country. It is a very diverse country. You are constantly surrounded by people with from different cultural groups. You understand what I'm saying? So you'll sound like anything and everything if you're around whoever type shit. So I don't know. I sound colored, I know, but we all do in Namibia. I just think you guys need to travel more, honestly, if you ask me. What languages do I speak? I speak Afrikaans, I speak English, I speak Vambu, I speak Portuguese. That's the languages I speak. I do understand Damara, I do understand Nama, I do understand Herero. So do I write those languages? Can I speak them fluently? No, I can't. But can I understand what you're saying? Definitely. And I'll probably be able to respond here and there, but I won't be able to have a full-blown conversation with you in the lost languages I mentioned. What's my zodiac sign? I'm a Pisces. I don't know about the rising moon, the setting sun, those things. I don't know about those things, but I can't say because a Pisces. I'm born on the 17th of March, and that's really all I can tell you. I don't know about the risings and the fallings, okay? So my second chapter is called Becoming Solid Gold. I'll tell you guys a little bit about how this started, basically based on my memory at this point. My social media track started in 2016 when I started as a makeup artist. Makeup was my mom's thing. I wasn't into makeup before I became a makeup artist. I was not. I started wearing makeup because I used to listen to this one influencer that I used to take makeup tips from, and she said, if you don't have models, be your own model. You're gonna have to put on the makeup and take the pictures. Yes. And that's how I started. My makeup career flew off so fast, not because I was a great makeup artist, but because I had great communication skills, and I was always welcoming. I would promote my work. You would see what I see. Yes, that was what it was. Because I'm looking back at the pictures I used to do, the makeup I used to do. That was not that great. Now, I definitely spoke you into it for sure. I don't know what's going on with my mic. It's literally throwing me off. I feel like I don't know what's going on with this mic right now. I'm just kind of going with the flows of it. This one time I'm laying on my bed and I decided, en ek rook mos altyd 'n kop. Waarskynlik ek is altyd op 'n fucking pyp. So ek sit daar en ek rook nou 'n kop en hier besluit ek net ek tel my phone op tyd. I have a Samsung, right? I have a Samsung and it was, what is this? It's the A3 or something like that. But I decided to just pick up my phone. Already my phone hak klaar van daar's te veel goedjies in die phone, dom shandies in die phone. En so my phone is nie gemaak vir enige ding wat heat optel nie. You understand what I mean? The overload of messages coming in would make my phone freeze. So I pick up my phone, and actually I didn't even know my phone had that problem, but I knew it can't handle too much. Fine. I made this video talking about your first full swim. I removed that video from my feeds, bro, because you guys just don't understand. A lot of people are like, keep it up. You don't understand the background of that video. The phases, looking at me was a direct reflection of what I was going through at the time, not what I was saying. But when I look at that girl in that video, I'm like, she's so drained. What I was going through at that particular point in time was nerve-wracking. I don't know if it partially contributed to the strength I have right now, but it was surely there to break me. And every time I look at it, you guys see content I see the girl that suffered. And I still think I have not yet thought about certain things when it came to that phase in my life. Being that young and going through all of those things at the same time, I don't look at it as content. I just don't want to see that face of that girl. And that is me. You understand? So as much as I want to post it and let you guys have the fun you guys had, because that is where Solid Gold started. That was Solid Gold. Do you understand what I'm saying? So until I kind of like make peace with whatever is happening or had happened at time, I can't promise anything. I can't. I woke up the next morning and my phone froze. I don't know what was going on. I just woke up, I saw the phone froze, so I just I took it off the charger. I thought maybe because it slept on the charger the whole night, maybe that's the reason why my phone is freezing. But I just left it for like a minute, just kind of get itself together. And here people are calling and texting, and my brother comes in and he's like, "You went viral. You know that?" Now, what are you talking about? They're like, "Your video is everywhere. Everywhere. Everyone's status is your video. Everyone's status is your video. And everyone is mimicking you at this point." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I go back on my brother's phone and I see the video is viral. My phone hack nog. Mind you, my phone hack nog. It's still on freeze mode. So I'm waiting for it to come off of freeze mode so I can see what I did. You get what I'm saying? Like, because at this point, all I'm hearing is you went viral, people are mimicking you. I'm in between of, are they making fun of me or did I actually do some legendary shit here? Come to find out, that was the birth of Solid motherfucking Gold. Yeah. I did my thing, I did my ones and twos, but now that I'm talking about it, I actually think I'll post that video. I know people are gonna look at me like, you glowed up, dog. But I'm like, bruh, if I didn't go through those things in life, I think I would have fairly had my share. But I looked like my problems. I looked exactly like what I was going through, and that was cack for a kid. Were there times I wanted to quit? Yes, because Namibia never had the program that pays you. I had gotten notifications, but then it would always say like, this program is not available in your region. So I never really had the opportunity to get paid by social media at the time for the content I was releasing on a regular basis. So for me, I did it for the love of it. I did it for the fun of it. I did it for that, man. And you know, it attracted the good, it attracted the bad with the type of content I released, because I early on realized you're not going to make everybody happy. You're not going to satisfy everybody. You're not going to do all these things. You understand? So you're just going to have to release content. Whoever bites, they're all going to bite at some point, you know, whether they bite a piece off or they don't bite at all. But that is basically what it was. It started out of love before I got to the US. When I got to the US, 8 months after I got to the US, then they sent me an email and they're like, "Hey, apply for this." And then finally I saw like, oh yeah, I am in the region where these things are happening. So that's when I started getting paid. My very first dollar I got from social media was my Instagram platform. And I couldn't believe when I saw the dollar, I was hyped. The reason why my content slowed down in America, I had the audience. I still do have the audience, right? But it's like, I also had to build my life from scratch. I had to build my life from scratch. Like, I had to start getting an ID, driver's license again. Like, I had to start doing all of these things from scratch. And I think nobody considered that. They just wanted content and content. I was so thrown into content. Like, I was so consumed by my content that it drained me so much. I was trying to build my life. I got my life together, but then one thing leads to the other. It's always one thing. Like, you never get time to really sit and do this. At times, I was really torn between making content full-time or having like a different professional career on the side. I was really torn between, because it started paying up. It like started paying off. I started getting brand deals. I started getting like a lot of collaborations. I did so many collaborations, like gifted collabs. Like, I had everything. I could furnish my entire apartment with the collabs, like the products I was receiving from these companies, the money, everything was so good, up until I saw myself, hey dog, you gotta go to school. Go to school. It's not every day. I don't think you're going to be 45 wanting to sit in front of the camera, having to make a video knowing you're tired, you're exhausted. Like, you can't even pivot your life because you feel like you have to constantly give this type of content to make money. I felt I wanted to be able to build businesses out of like a professional career, because I felt like this is just a hobby. And fortunately, it kind of went it went into the right direction. But I have to have a professional career that I can constantly fall back on, if anything, So I started nursing school, I finished, and then I went back and I just graduated not too long ago. If you follow me on my social media platforms, you would know I just graduated again. Okay, so definitely. That is also part of the biggest lesson that social media taught me, is you can't just depend on social media. If this internet goes black tomorrow, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna get your money from? Huh? The same way they shut down TikTok not too long ago, like what are you gonna do is the question. So I don't take chances with things like that. I always want to sleep knowing I'm secure. So I would say, even if you're trying to start social media, it's going to pay you big money. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna pay you big money, but go to school. Go to school so that tomorrow, if you decide, I don't want to do this anymore, dan kan jy terugval op iets wat sin maak. You understand what I mean? Nee, jy gaan begin van voorts af en everything so do that. Let me answer the juicy questions now. What's your biggest dating red flag? Little white lies. If you make a little white lie, I question, big question mark, on everything you've ever told me, because I'm just like, you had no reason to lie about that. So what about big stuff? What about the big stuff that you had to tell me? Then you definitely lied about those ones if you couldn't even tell me a small truth. You get what I'm saying? So big lie, small lie is a lie. So yeah, it's I don't do with little white lies. Would you date a broke man? I need to understand. Because I can't really disclose who asked this particular question, but I need to understand your definition of broke, because I can tell you right now I'm broke. What's the date today? Today is the 9th. I'm broke today. I really am flat. But when I say I'm broke, it doesn't mean there's no money. There's just no money for me to spend on dumb miscellaneous stuff. But when it comes to like other things like the bills and stuff like that, those things are paid. The money is there for those things. But when it comes to me wanting to step out and quickly go hop into Ross or go into Burlington, like, oh, I need a new, I don't have money for those things anymore. I depleted that account. Okay? For the other things, they are money. So I need to understand what your definition of broke is. And most of the times people, they don't have money, but they have the plan. They're just not connected to the resources they need to execute that plan. You get what I'm saying? So there's two different kinds of broke, because I've met a very rich man, but he's broke at the same time because he wasn't doing anything productive to increase his income. His income was coming in, but he wasn't building anything besides that. So it's like, if that thing flops, what happens? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, he was broke at the same time. He wasn't really rich to me. He was rich momentarily. Like, yes, money's coming in, but really up here, you're kind of like a zero. So it depends what you're talking about. I really, when it comes to dating people that are not on my level, I make sure it makes sense. And I'm not talking about emotional sense. I'm talking about the numbers are making sense. 1 + 1 is 2. Like, this is the plan. You're going to school. You're doing something. Like, I'm supporting a growing person. Like, I also tell myself, if you end up helping someone in a relationship, whether it's a relationship or friendship, if it's to grow, you do it because you want to do it, not because this is your partner. You do it because you also have a friendship within this person, so that if one day they walk away, you don't end up saying it's because of me that you're there. I'm that type of person. I make sure I do things on a genuine heart. The problem with this generation is they want to buy time with God. Oh God, if I help this person, you're gonna bless me. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If you think your blessings come from every time giving, knowing that you're trying to bargain with God, you don't have any in your bucket, my dear. You understand? I don't know how we got there again, but let's go back to where we were. Would you date someone with kids? Never again. Never fucking again. Never again. And because this time I ended up in a relationship with a guy that had a kid, that it's not that his parenting was wrong. He was the problem. He had bad communication. And also the thing of wanting to raise your kids, your father raised you guys, but you don't have the resources your father had, but you want to live that life. And it looked like I was going to be the breadwinner. It was 90% chance I was going to be the breadwinner. The only way that guy was going to either get rich is if he won a lottery. But I was going to be the breadwinner and the caregiver. Why? Because someone wasn't taking care of themselves. Their health was at risk, and it was just a problem to a point where we're hiding alcohol. We're hiding alcohol. We're drinking bit by bit, and I could smell it in his breath. And the moment I could smell it in his breath, I felt so defeated. I knew I was in a bad space, and also I was becoming more of like taking care of than taken care of. So I kind of just left that situation, and I'm never doing it again. I kind of tried to give it some. I wanted to I wanted to say no based on my own experience, not based on people's experiences or statistics. So honestly, I'm never doing that again. I am not. And I'm very serious about that one. I'm never doing it again. Nie weer op my fucking of jy gaan dit nie weer doen nie. Dit is so 'n kak ding om te doen. I just feel they mense wat op dieselfde level is met jou saam. And I mean, you're not always going to be on the same level every extra. Like, you're not going to tick off the same boxes for every man. Like, okay, we are on the same level, we make the same money. You could literally do that and still have the most imperfect person. Like, you guys are not compatible, you're not seeing eye to eye, but you make the same amount of money, you're both successful, you both have houses, you both have cars, but yet you guys are just off the charts with each other. That can still be the case. There's so many ways you can make a relationship work, but when there's a kid involved, count me out. Dog, yeah. What's one thing you'll never tolerate? Disrespect. Disrespect? It enters the room, I walk out. I'm way too big for that. I'm way too big for that. And I'm not talking about social media big. I feel I'm way too big for that. I'm way too big for that. I'm way too kind for that type of space. I'm way too respectful to deal with disrespect. I'm not a kid. I'm not going to sit here and deal with disrespect. I don't care. I don't care. I walk into rooms and I feel a vibe. I still sit down and I make sure I'm feeling the right shit before I walk out and have a valid reason as to why I did it. But I don't disrespect people regardless. I respect kids. You'll never see me misuse a kid. Go do what? Because you're teaching. As you do, you teach. So no. I do not tolerate disrespect to any degree. I do not. Honestly, no, I don't. What's the biggest lesson love has taught you? To love yourself a lot more than you love anybody. Yeah. You've got to love yourself more than you love anybody, because that will save you so much. Because if you love yourself more than you love any other thing, it's not saying you don't love other people, but you are your first priority. If you're not fine, you can't help anybody. You understand? You can't break yourself trying to build somebody. It doesn't work like that. You'd have to throw from a cup that's overflowing. You can't throw from an empty cup. You understand? Love has taught me to constantly make sure my cup is full. And if we both are on positive terms, both of our cups will constantly be full. Times do fall short. You understand? Because you can't keep throwing into somebody's cup that's throwing into people's cups that don't throw back into theirs. You will eventually run out. So I learned to love myself so much that I knew if disrespect was in the room. I knew when compromise wasn't there. I knew when consideration was not there. I knew, because I loved myself so much, and I know what I give myself and I know what I give other people. So I knew when I wasn't receiving and I walked away immediately. I am in such a walk away season. I've been in that season for years. I know when to walk away, regardless of how much it hurts me. I love myself a lot. Me? I love myself a lot. You can't tell me nothing. I love myself so much, I teach people how to love me. They come around me and they either get bored of how I love myself and they disappear, or they kind of get with the program and start running the race. Because what do you mean? How am I like, no. If you don't love yourself, dog, you won't even know when people are like subliminally disrespecting you, making disrespectful jokes and kicking with you, and you're just kicking to get that guy. Yeah. I don't do those things, dog. Cut me out. I'm so strict. More questions. What is your toxic trait? What's my toxic trait? I kind of prepare myself for both sides of the coin at all times. I'm always prepared for you to walk away. I'm always prepared for you to stay. You would never see that switch in energy. I don't know if that's a toxic trait, but I always prepare myself for both sides of the coin. Like, you can never really disappoint me. I already made room for that. Yeah, I think that's my thing. It just protects me emotionally. Not to say like I'm waiting for you to fuck up. No, not that. I'm just basically saying that, hey, it's not gonna break my heart. You're human. So I'm making space for it. So kind of look at the direction I'm taking here. I'm just like, I'm kind of leaving grace on the floor. I'm allowing you to make a reasonable mistake, but I'm allowing you to see what you're doing and communicate it with me. Type shit. Because I feel like unexpected disappointments hit the hardest. I allow people to be human. You understand? But not so human that they deliberately do things and then want to call themselves out. Oh, well, I was going through... horrible person stays a horrible person, so no. I don't give grace for that, but I think that's my only toxic trait. So far, so good. Tea or coffee? Tea. I've always been a coffee girl growing up. Like, I drank coffee. I drank coffee so much, ne? Growing up, because it was like brood and tea of brood and coffee. Like, brood and coffee was baie lekker. Wit brood met rammelbotter and coffee. Jere guns, gee my krag. That was kaksharp. Now I'm just like a tea girlie. It's just different for me. I just don't drink coffee anymore. I don't know why. I do have coffee in my house because I accommodate people that drink coffee. If ever someone comes over that drinks coffee, I do have coffee in my house. I just don't drink coffee myself. Mountains or beaches? Always a water girlie. I am there for the beaches, like always. Designer bags or luxury vacations? I would do a luxury vacation than a luxury bag. I really am not into the things like that. Do I have a couple of luxury pieces? I do. Am I into it like that? No. I'm just not hyped by things, dog. Like, things just don't get to me like that. I don't know why. What's on your vision board? I don't think I can tell you what's on my vision board. I think my vision board is for me and the back of my mind on its own. Like, I don't think I can share what's on my vision board. I don't think you're supposed to share what's on your vision board. This is your vision. These are the things you see. We live in a very funny world these days. I don't think I want to share that. I'm sorry. What's 3 things you can't live the house without? My car keys, obviously. I can't leave the house without my car keys. I can't leave the house without lip gloss. And I can't leave the house without perfume. I own a lot of perfumes and colognes combined and body mists. I can't leave the house without those things. At all, like literally. I need them. What is something everyone assumes about you that's completely false? I think I've mentioned it probably prior into this episode. Just people thinking my content is based off of continuous heartbreak, and it's not. Like, I really need you guys to know that it's not. It had nothing to do with a heartbreak, and those are also one of my proudest moments, that nothing that I am doing is based off of one little thing. And I emphasize this across the board with a lot of things, even tattoos. None of my tattoos have anything that it doesn't represent a certain phase or like heartbreak in my life. It just doesn't, right? All my tattoos are things I'm willing to live with for the rest of my life. And it's everything positive about myself, the growth, the love. It tells a story, okay? But I really want you guys to know my content has nothing to do with a heartbreak or a man. Nothing. Some men at some point in time back in the days tried to involve himself in my growth at that point, and was like, I made solid gold. I'm like, that is the most absurd thing you can ever say. You're saying the heartbreak you gave me made me. Yeah, you are crazy, man. Hey. Rich or romantic? Romantic. I'm a lover for romance. Like, I stuck for romance. I love romance. Like, can't make me feel anything. Romance is my thing, dog. Like, rich is based on, like, I don't know. I just have a different definition of rich. Right? A lot of people are going to say rich is your accounts are stacked. And me, it's just that you constantly are able to pivot in life. That's rich for me. You're able to, you have family, you have friends, you have love around you. That's rich for me. You have a stable career. That's rich for me. Because you're constantly always going to have money. You might not have millions stuck in your account just sitting, but you constantly have money coming in. That's rich for me. Being able to fend for yourself, that's rich for me. My rich is just a little specific, okay? Because at some point I could have said, hey, I have a lot of money. I might not be rich, but I definitely could sleep without thinking. That to me is rich. You get what I'm saying? So to each their own, you know. Have you ever been in a situationship? Yes, I have. And that's when I realized, like, you can't date someone until they fall in love with you. You can't. You can't do that. What do you think this is, Monopoly? Huh? You can't date someone until they fall in love with you. You can't overdo so. You can't give yourself so much to a point where they fall in love with you. You just can't do it. So at the end of the day, all my experiences in my life taught me one or two things, and I'm grateful for the experiences. I stopped crying and I started learning. At times when I have these heartbreaks, I'll just be like, what's the lesson here? Like, stop crying now. What's the lesson? What are we learning? What insecurities has this brought out? What fears have this created? Like, what is this showing you that you need to work on? Like, do you need to up your your boundaries and stuff like that? Because I'm just like, someone can only play me once. I'm 27. You can only play in my face one time. You'll never get the opportunity to even play right. I'll never give you that opportunity. That's why I run through people so fast. I'm like, today we talked and then you fucked up and then I moved on. No hard feelings. I just can't I can't give you a platform to disrespect me the second time. I'm not strict. I just have high boundaries and I can't lower them for anybody. I'll just have to meet people on that level. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't lower myself to meet a bunch of people that I used to entertain. I just have to move up at the end of the day. So for me, regardless of how much I love you, installing respect means I have to let you go. Because what made you think that was okay to do it the first time? Exactly. Those are questions. If you don't have the answers yourself, then you just fucked up. You need to work on that. You lose one, you gain one. Looks or personality? I feel personality takes you so far. I will go with personality. Looks is one thing, but I always wanted to say this, and I'll say this right now, right? Because I have more messy things to release on this podcast, and this is not even the tip of the iceberg. If you look at all my exes, they have nothing in common. Especially there by the looks. They have nothing in common. Nothing. I'm telling you, nothing. I've dated someone and everyone looked at me and they're like, "Are you for real? This is what you're in love with?" And I said, "Yes, that's my man." And suddenly everyone wants him because there's something that they don't see that you see and they want to know what that is. The problema di Cherokee, but anyways, my biggest achievement was going back to school. Nursing school is not a joke. I will always be that girl that tells you to get your shit together, right? Also just pivoting based on where I was in life. Not being stuck. One thing about being stuck, or just wanting to stay in comfortability, I can't. Like, I was uncomfortable so many times. I'm comfortable with uncomfortability because I know I'm creating comfort within that uncomfortability, okay? Because I'm not just gonna want to be uncomfortable for a long time. You get what I'm saying? So that was my biggest achievement, I feel, going back to school, because it has shaped me in a whole. If you have found yourself sitting and watching this far, I really want to welcome you to my family. I am building a very large network at this point, and I want you to be part of it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you got to know a little bit here and there about me. My camera kept going off, so I don't know what I missed and what I didn't miss, but I did miss a couple of stuff here. And if anything, I'll just add. But other than that, I really love having you guys here. I hope you guys can subscribe, like, share this content. Please do tag me in everything. Tag me, I repost, I interact. I'm always active on my phone. So please do that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.